Okay, it finally arrived. It took 9 weeks from the day I ordered. And it's a good sign so far because it looks like it's the retail packaging. Legitimate box. The box is a little crushed, but it does look like a genuine G400s. And I bought this on Newegg. The seller was Korn Electronics, and it cost $45. Fit and finish is nice. Go through all the buttons. All the buttons click really well. Feels nice and solid. The scroll wheel is super quiet and it feels really, really nice. And it works fine. I do have one issue where the scroll wheel sometimes like jumps down 2 notches on the screen for 1 notch on the scroll wheel. On my MX518 it's like totally perfect. 1 notch, 1 move on the screen. Something else I notice is the scroll wheel is shifted off to the side and it's almost rubbing against the plastic. The MX518 is perfectly centered. So what I'm going to do is try to take this apart and see if I can adjust it. There's 3 screws, 1 in the bottom and 2 in the top. And I take my thumbnail and I press on the slider and it kind of reveals the little holes underneath. I take a sharp razor blade and carefully pierce the slider and cut a little hole to get access to the screw. And the screws come right out. And then it pops apart. One thing I noticed during the manufacturing process, they put some adjustment stickers so the mouse button will hit the switch. There must have been like a slight little gap. Okay, I discovered what was wrong with the mouse. The scroll wheel, one of the little finger things is broken. And that's what was causing it to skip like 2 motions down on the screen for 1 on the scroll wheel. But luckily, I have an old MX510 and it's an identical mouse. This one broke, some of the switches broke, but the scroll wheel assembly is exactly the same. So I just swapped the entire assembly. Here it is right here. I'm also adding a couple little pieces of sticker, placing them on the mouse clickers to get rid of a tiny little millimeter gap. Now the mouse works perfect. The scroll wheel is super centered and it works. I've tested it on the laptop and it works perfect. 1 notch is 1 movement on the screen with no glitches. The mouse buttons are now super tight. Feels a lot better. Okay, I've had a problem from where I cut the holes in the slider. I can feel like a little snagginess, like a scratchiness on the edges of where I cut, and I've tried to like smooth it out and I still can't fix it. So the next time I do this, I would pull the entire slider off carefully and then remove the screws, and when I'm finished I would put the slider back on. And on eBay you can buy mouse skates, which are like replacement Teflon pads for the bottom of the mouse, and they cost about $4 with free shipping. Something else kind of interesting is the box. Looks like it's actually in Italian, all the lettering. But it doesn't matter because the mouse is universal. Overall, I'm happy with it. I wish that it worked perfect out of the box Luckily I had some spare parts and I tinkered with it a little bit and made it a lot better than it came. So thumbs up. I might actually buy a couple extras to have in my stock.